Do you think Sarah gave up on the promise of God? I wouldn't say that she gave up on the promise, but I would say that she certainly had her doubts. So like if you were to trace the story of Abraham and Sarah, you could understand why. Like in Genesis 12, God comes, calls them out of their homeland to go to a land that he's going to show them. He's going to give them a son that's going to bless all the nations on the earth. And you're thinking, okay, God's given the promise, but a decade goes by. They still don't have a son. She's beginning to lose faith in the promise, or her faith is wavering. And she's like, here, take my maidservant, have a child by her. And the moment that happens, she has a child. Abraham falls in love with this new child. And then Sarah mistreats her. She runs off. And God's like, to this maidservant, gives her all promises and says, I'm going to make a mighty nation out of your son. And all of a sudden, Abraham is like, oh, Ishmael, we love Ishmael. And if you're Sarah, you've got to be thinking like, did I just blow it? Like, as the promise passed me by, Ishmael is being circumcised into this new covenant. God, apart from rescuing me from Pharaoh's harem, he's never spoken to me. So maybe the promise is meant for Hagar and not for me. And in Genesis 18, one of the coolest things is when God shows up, Abraham's like, oh, you're here for me. And God's like, where's Sarah? And she needs to hear what I have to say. And so God pursues her even when her faith is wavering. And that's how he treats all of these figures that have wavering faith like us. He pursues them.